Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Bastille Day to you. July 14th, the Wednesday. Well, we got our fireworks today. GME came down quite a bit. We're gonna talk about that. We'll talk about SPY, some technical analysis on GME, go over some of the options we did. Didn't do a whole lot of trading today, more just kind of watch. Looks like 165, it kind of bounced off here, come into close. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. We have a Twitter you can follow us on, as well as a Discord if you'd like to jump on. Yeah, market today, actually, let's just start with that. Finally, looks like it's kind of starting to slow down, at least on its massively inflated bull run it's been going on. The RSI divergence, got about 3 of them now, and so this morning, always easier to see it in hindsight, but this morning we opened up here. This was opened up pretty high, but not really higher new all-time highs until here. It didn't open up there, and then it came up a little bit, and it just was looking kind of weak. We're getting kind of a double top and kind of just some resistance up here, some dojis. And then I zoomed out and saw, you know, the RSI divergence, of course. And I'm like, this typically by 3, it seems, is when it'll start to reject if it hasn't before then. So anyways, I got some puts, just some daily puts for today, thinking this is probably overextended, and they worked out pretty well. There were 4, I'll go over them, but there were 400% plays, which is crazy when we didn't have that big a move on the SPY. I bought them right here. Just daily ones, and then I sold one of them right here. I just sold one because I wasn't sure how the end of the day would work out, but we'll go over that towards the end of the video and go over the option plays. 1 minute to close. I said it yesterday and I was hoping something crazy would happen today, but yeah, technical analysis kind of just showed this sell-off continuing. And it did, and that 180 floor that we were hoping to hold, it didn't hold. Didn't look like it necessarily would, since there was no really sign of a reversal or even consolidation really in this zone. It's just kind of, it had the bounce, but then it just was looking weak, especially this yesterday. Still looking weak. MACD's still weak. RSI is, you know, just ticking down. So yeah, TA, I think on this one, so I did little, I don't really do Fibonacci stuff, but just to kind of get some ideas. I was kind of thinking if we didn't hold that one, we kind of held it for a little bit, but like a 175 support we held for a bit, and then we started coming down later in the day. Was this 170, 190? Yeah, and then I was thinking 165, but when you get back here, it's pretty choppy, like where it'll find support. So it still hasn't really found a floor, to be honest. So I mean, it could keep coming down, maybe all the way down to this 137 area. I don't think so, just because the RSI is so low. But if it were to come down there, it would probably be after some consolidation and then dropping. However, yeah, I'm not seeing that yet. I mean, TA is still bearish though, so you don't know how low it's going to go, but until it reverses. So that's just momentum. Technical analysis is all trailing momentum. So right now it held at that 78.6% retractment from, if we're looking at January, February, March 25th to that high. So it's retracted 78.6%. And it seems like it might hold that support. We'll see. If it doesn't hold there, again, it'll probably come down to this 130 something range, 135, 137. But yeah, so technical analysis is a trailing indicator, so it's not necessarily going to tell you the future, but you can see with momentum what's happening with these trailing indicators. So until it changes, it's going to continue to stay the same way, basically. But some signs we see of changes. An impending change is like these divergences, these RSI divergences. You can see this one did it 3 times here, just like I was showing you on the SPY, how it did it 3 times before it just starting to now. So 1, 2, and then 3. Each one of these RSIs is lower and higher price action. So it hasn't had a big reverse yet, but this is actually a fourth one really, because this is a new high. So here's the fourth one. It's a lower RSI. So SPY, I think, yeah, I think SPY's gonna come down. But that's what we saw here, and then after this third one, we had that big down day. So, and then we had all the other indicators that were lagging indicators, like the MACD and the moving averages, and these things that I more typically look at just to be safe, where you wait for the momentum to shift in that way, and then you play on that. We haven't had any indicators yet of a turnaround down here. However, the one thing that we are noticing is just how low the RSI is right now, and that to me is just like, you imagine a spring standing up on the floor and just slowly putting weight on it, and the lower that spring, the more that spring gets compressed, the stronger it's going to bounce basically. So that's kind of my positive outlook for GME and the RSI. And I was looking at it, look at the RSI right now, it's 33.39 on the daily. We haven't had that low of an RSI on GME since back here. When was this? 34. No, that was even as low. 30. This was the day that the RSI was that low. GME is trading at $3.20. So that being said, you can't just use the RSI, but you can see if it's wound down real low to oversold, then it's like a magnet. It wants to get back up to that 50 kind of equal area, and so yeah, the RSI being that low is pretty incredible, since it's been so long since it's been there. So I expect it probably won't actually really probably won't really consolidate much, honestly, with RSI that low. It's gonna have a bounce and then consolidate, if you know what I mean. So I don't think it's gonna just once it finds a floor, just trade sideways. I think it's gonna keep selling off maybe aggressively, and then it's gonna bounce to get that RSI back up equal, and then it'll find a floor and kind of trade sideways. And that range, I don't know, maybe around the 190 range, 180. This might be our new resistance right here, this 180. See what I guess the rest of the week brings. But yeah, it's still looking bearish, but the RSI is very low. So one of the tricks, or one of the ways I look to buy into a long-term position, like on my long-term account, I have the tickers on watch lists, and I just go through and check them periodically and see where they are on the RSI, and not even looking at moving averages or anything like that. If it's really ever oversold on the daily, then for long term, I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. And I could look on it on a daily chart or a weekly, but yeah, that's a good indicator just of like a good price basically for it. And yeah, so I think there's a good price for GME, 167.69. On the hourly, RSI again is way oversold, 23. And it can come down more. It might consolidate and then come down more. Kind of like it did today, kind of this consolidation. RSI came up, then it dropped some more. On the daily, yeah, still bearish. Maybe down to this lower level. We will see. SPY though, not sure if it's doing another one of these kind of volatile weeks or not, or if it's actually a top. MACD is still bullish on the daily. We do have this RSI divergence though, and we actually had some pretty aggressive price action to the downside today before Powell came on. Usually bounces after Powell. He is the calmer of all markets. So yeah, let me show you the option plays we did today. Got some Microsoft puts. It was lagging. Cryptic pointed that out. So, but then SPY was bouncing by about then anyways. Here's the SPY puts we did today. So I bought 3. What time is this at? 9:37. So wow, that was 2 minutes after open. So bought 3 of them then. 436 puts. Bought them for 23 cents, and then sold 1 for $1.15. So I don't know what percentage that was at that point, but basically I doubled my money on one of them. The other 2 expired worthless. So I bought 3, doubled my hold position on 1, and then 2 of them just went to expire worthless. So I could have sold all of them then if I'd known. Hindsight. These 360 puts we have for Friday, 425 puts for Friday, probably gonna expire worthless. Also, this call credit spread I had expiring today, I had to roll it over, and I rolled it till next Friday, the 23rd. So I've got till then now for SPY to be below 432, and it's really not that far down where it's at. So I'll keep pushing that SPY bearish play out because it's just at a top. It's gonna come down. And then GME, we have this credit spread. With how low we've come, I don't know if this will expire in the money. We'll see on Friday with those failed delivers, or not failed delivers, but all the puts expire in the money. I don't know if the married puts, how that's gonna work, if that's just gonna mean positive buying pressure. All the puts I've bought that have expired worthless have just done that. The married puts thing, I don't have a good enough handle on how it works, but I think what they've done in the past is just rolled them over, just like I did on this SPY credit spread. So with the new rules in place, maybe they won't be able to. I'm not sure. So we'll just keep an eye on those, all those puts, the huge put position they have for Friday. But TA, TA hasn't even flattened out yet, so it's not looking like there's going to be something crazy on Friday yet. We still have to basically level out, and today was kind of falling off a cliff. So when you have big price action to the downside, you typically don't have just quick price action to the upside the next day. That's why this day was so unusual, day to day. That was earnings, and then I think that was a failed deliver cover. So yeah, we'll see. Typically, if it's a big price action down with velocity, it's going to flatten out before it rallies. Yeah, so the SPY, let me show you here, 937, we picked up that put, so right here, and then I sold it at 1153, so yeah, right about in here somewhere. I guess, yeah, I sold it earlier. 1153. I sold one, and that trade worked out so well, and it was 400% just because of the velocity that we had. It's all about the velocity when you're buying premium or buying naked calls or buying naked puts. I'm gonna pull up the chart on it so you can see what I'm talking about. That's why most plays, I feel like, buying naked calls or puts is not the way, unless it's been consolidating, trading very flat and tight, and you're expecting a breakout, an unexpected breakout. If it's an expected breakout, the options are going to reflect that in the premium that you're paying. If it's an unexpected breakout, then yes, then you can make big money on it. And this is me buying out of the money puts. I mean, if you're calls, anything naked, I suppose if you're buying a lot of in the money, maybe doesn't apply quite as much, but for me, I typically buy out of the money, which is maybe why I lose a lot. Okay, so 436. Just want to look at the chart here really quick. 436 puts. We can look at this chart and just how the velocity works. This was same to expiration too, so it's going to get a lot more moves. Look at this thing. This it? 714? Yeah. So we bought it like right about here, and then SPY was coming down, but not with much velocity. So this was only going up a little bit in value. This thing really spiked like crazy up to $1.30 from 30 cents. Just from that time when there's velocity, from like 11:20 till about 12. So if you hold that over this chart, you can see even to here, look, 11:05. That was right here. It did come down quite a bit, but this thing was only up a little bit. Once you had these big candles, big speed, then this thing just accelerated quickly. So that's what you're looking for in those. What other trades did we do today? Buy the Microsoft puts, those lost value. I did buy one call expecting a bounce from that 165. I was a little bit early on it on GameStop. This is the rolled over SPY play. So that was this call right here, 175. Oh, it's up a little bit, so it did bounce some. So I bought this when it was coming down heavy. This is up 13%. But I even bought it early. I'm surprised it's up. I bought it like right here. And then we bounced since then, so that's up a little bit. Everything else, though, is probably pretty well jacked for this week on GME. I'll probably have to roll over the puts I sold. Probably roll over this put credit spread. And I should have sold covered calls at the beginning of the week. But nothing to do about that now. Make sure you guys sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Today was a fine day, honestly. It's if you get too hyped on times that things are tweeted or the way someone looks at you or any sort of craziness, then you're bound to be disappointed. So I'm trying to stick to the numbers. I'm waiting for volume, green price action, kind of like back here, and then go heavy on the calls. But until then, sell some premium, buy some shares, stay in the game. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you tomorrow. Peace out.